Well, greetings and welcome to episode 5 of Summer Alchemy 2017. I am Tanya Poole, author of The Magic of Self-Love and TanyaPoole.com, and I'm so glad that you are here with me for the 5th episode of this series. So this episode is very special. Well, all of them are, but this one's kind of a little bit special to me because we just entered into Virgo season on August the 22nd. Now, if you watched episode 4, you know that we had the big solar eclipse in the sign of Leo on August the 21st. And I call that Leo's last big bang of 2017 because it was like the last big thing that was going on in the sign of Leo. And it was a big thing just for the whole year, really, the solar eclipse. And then the very next day, we entered into Virgo season. So this episode is actually called Everybody's a Virgo, including you. And this is something special that I will do during all of the seasonal alchemy series, is that beginning with this sign, I will do a special episode titled Everybody's a whatever the sign is, including you. And so since this is the first one, I'm doing Everybody's a Virgo. And the reason why I'm doing that is because a lot of times we get very caught up in our sun signs, right? If you ask somebody what sign they are, they'll say, oh, I'm a Leo, or I'm a Taurus, or I'm a Capricorn, or what have you. And we tend to forget, or some of us don't even know, that we actually carry all 12 of the zodiac signs in our birth charts, in our natal charts. And so even if you are not technically a Virgo, even if your sun, even if you weren't born during this time of the year, Virgo is somewhere in your chart. And so if you're only focusing on your sun sign and cultivating your sun sign, you're missing out on cultivating this part of your life as well. And since the sun is shining its magnificent light in the sign of Virgo for the next 30 days, it's very important that we all focus on that particular energy and learn how to magnetize it and cultivate it so that we can experience success in that area of our lives. So I did start with Virgo because technically my sun is in the sign of Virgo. So I don't know, since I am quote unquote a Virgo, is something about this time of year where I come more alive and I get more inspired. It's like my new year. It's like my second new year. So this idea actually came to me during this time and I wanted to share it with you. But don't worry, because in 30 days from now, when we're in Libra, I'll be doing Everybody's a Libra, including you. So, and then Scorpio and so on down the line. So don't feel like you're missing out. You're not missing out. You're just focusing right now on the Virgo part of your chart. All right. So what exactly is Virgo and why is it important? You may be asking yourself that, right? Like, especially if your sun is not a Virgo, you may be saying to yourself, like, why is she even talking to me right now about Virgo? Well, firstly, like I said a few minutes ago, is that Virgo is somewhere in your chart. Virgo is the 6th sign of the zodiac. So it always starts with Aries, according to Western astrology, is Aries, and then Taurus, and then Gemini, Cancer, Leo, which we just came out of, and now we're in Virgo season. So it is the 6th sign of the zodiac. And Virgo, also sometimes known as the Virgin, is the time of preparing for the harvest. Now, this is where it kind of ties into summer alchemy, because if you remember, we started off with Cancer season in the summertime, and then we went into Leo, and Virgo is actually the last sign of summer. So this is the sign that will carry us from summer into fall, where we prepare for the harvest, where we prepare to reap what we've sown, whether it's literally in the ground, like if you literally put seeds in the ground, or just what you've been sowing all year long thus far. This is the time of year where we begin to reap what we've sown, good or bad. Um, Virgo being the sixth sign, it rules something called the sixth house as well. And the house is nothing but, if you were an astronomer, you would look in the sky, and every 30 degrees in the sky is a new house. What they call a house is just an area of the sky. And the sixth house governs our health, or how we feel about our health, how we take care of our bodies, because Virgo is a very earthly sign. So it's about how we self-care for our bodies. Virgo, or the sixth house, focuses a lot on our daily routines and our daily rituals. So if you have coffee, if you're somebody who says, I have to have coffee every morning at 6:30 a.m., that is a daily ritual. That is a daily routine. If you say, I work out 3 to 4 times a week, and that's just what I do, then that is a routine. If you have a routine of thinking a certain way, or a habit of thinking a certain way, that is something that is kind of a Virgo-ism. Okay, so whether you're a Virgo or not, if you look at your daily routines and your daily habits that lead you either to success or failure, that is a very Virgo quality. Okay, Virgo actually is very into mastering things. It's the house of mastery. And if you think about it, if you think about our daily habits and our daily routines, all of those things, whether we do them consciously or unconsciously, they all lead up to a certain outcome. For example, if you get up every day and you say, I'm going jogging every day, at some point your body, and it doesn't take that long, but your body will begin to get used to that movement every single day. And you'll actually feel, if you don't do it, you'll actually feel a little off, right? And that daily routine then leads to you being able to master not only a quarter of a mile, but then you can run a half a mile, then you can run a whole mile, then you can jog 5 miles. Something that, maybe a month ago you didn't think was possible. And that's all because that daily routine led to mastery. If you have a daily routine of speaking negatively about yourself or about others, right? So if every time you see somebody, let's just say somebody with an ugly outfit on, and every time you see somebody with an ugly outfit, you say, look at her with that ugly outfit on, right? You begin to develop a habit of talking about people, or of analyzing somebody else. And Virgo is a very analytical sign. It's a very analytical sign, and it can be a very critical sign, whether good or bad. So that particular energy will help us to have focus on certain things, sometimes for our good, sometimes not for our good. And that focus then becomes something we look at every single day, or we talk about every single day, or we do every single day, which then leads to mastery of that thing. So you can become a master at your health, a master at your finances, a master at talking about people, a master at eating poorly, a master at having negative thoughts, a master at having positive thoughts, a master at brewing that coffee at 6:30 in the morning. Whatever it is that you take the time to do every single day, or every few days, or however you do them, whatever habits and routines you have, you begin to master them. And a lot of times when we think about it, right, we say, I want to be good at this, or I want to be good at that. But you only become great at that which you practice, at what you give your energy and your focus to. Virgo is really, really good at that. You want to become a master of something, that Virgo energy will empower you to do that. If we look at some of the celebrities, one of the biggest ones right now is Beyonce. Or even like Michael Jackson, who has passed. When we look at their work ethic, right? those two people that I just named are actually, their sun is in the sign of Virgo. They are good examples of that mastery principle of practicing and practicing and practicing to become the best at their particular craft. Wanting to be perfect at it. Now, I don't know what every other aspect of their lives, but that Virgo energy as it relates to their careers, and there's plenty of other examples of that, that mastery element is there. And they are good examples of what that Virgo energy looks like when the person is honed in on a skill, a craft, and mastering their craft. So if your sun isn't in the sign of Virgo, that's okay. Because again, like I said, Virgo is somewhere in your chart. So you may not have the sun in Virgo, but your Venus may be in Virgo. And Venus is the planet of love and relationships and romance and partnerships. Or you may have another planet like Mars, which is about passion and drive and motivation and even anger, in the sign of Virgo. So wherever those planets are, if they're in the sign of Virgo, that's where your Virgo energy comes into place. And even if you don't even have a planet in the sign of Virgo, somewhere, because you have Virgo in your chart, somewhere in your life, you demonstrate, or you have the power to demonstrate that type of Virgo energy. Now, like all things, there are higher and lower qualities and energies of the sign of Virgo. So while Virgo can be about perfectionism or trying to get things right or being focused on something, and even trying to master something, the lower energy of that is that, again, if let's just say your focus is on the negative, or your focus isn't on constructive criticism, it's just on being critical, right? So that's a lower energy or lower way of using Virgo energy. That particular Virgo energy is also on the lower end, can lead to worry, because of that focus, right? Because of that laser focus, then it can get in one's head like, what if it doesn't work? What if I fail? What if it goes wrong? And because it's also the house of health, it's like, oh, what if I get sick? Or, what if this little bump turns out to be, gangrene? I don't know. That is that lower end of Virgo energy, the tendency to worry, the tendency to overthink, to overanalyze, to grill and grill and grill and go hard and go hard and go hard, and it's never good enough, it's never enough, it's never right enough, it's never perfect enough, and going and going and going until you burn out from just fatigue because of the need to be perfect in a certain area. So wherever Virgo is in your chart, and you could probably find it, if you just reflected on your life, you may be able to actually kind of see where that energy is. Where is it that you find that you are laser focused? Like, is it around your money? Is it around your relationships? Is it around your career? And all of those, all of those areas that I just named are highlighted in somewhere in your birth chart. And that's probably where, now an astrologer would actually need to look at that to verify that for you, but that probably is where Virgo is in your life. So there, just because your birthday is in this time of year, you still are carrying that energy somewhere. So I'm looking at my notes. So the question now is, if you were to look at your chart, right, and you find that Virgo, let's just say, is in your house of career, that is the part of your life where you must be focused, where you must master your craft. I don't care what you do. You could be that great world-renowned singer, or you could be an accountant, or you could be a seamstress, or or a painter. Look, I painted this. Okay, let me just tell you about this real quick. This is the cover of my book, The Magic of Self-Love, and the illustrator of my cover, the designer of my cover, Mandy Dunn of Fly Movements. Hey, girl. She also does paint parties. So we had a party where we painted the cover of my book. So that is The Magic of Self-Love. But anyway, or if you're a painter or whatever it is that you do, if Virgo is in the house of your career, and that is your career, then you are asked to really master your craft. Virgo demands that you master your craft. Virgo demands that you work on it daily, or that you create a daily routine of working on it and perfecting it and getting better and better at it. Virgo asks that you make a ritual of it. Like, it doesn't have to just be all work. It could be a fun ritual where you get your paints together, and you maybe have a space where you paint that's a very kind of sacred space to you, or a very pretty, maybe out in nature somewhere, wherever, and you make a ritual out of your painting. If Virgo is in the part of your sky or your chart, where it's all about your education and expansion and travel, then Virgo is going to ask you that while you're expanding and traveling and going through higher education, that you really immerse yourself into that, and that you focus on whatever it is that you're learning and experiencing, whether it's a new culture, whether it's a new language, whether it's a new food, that you really begin to immerse yourself in it, and to focus on that. And so again, an astrologer could really show you how to do that, and show you where that is in your chart, so that you can give that part of your life, that part of who you are, maximum energy and maximum love. And when you do that, then you magnetize that part of your life, and you begin to attract the things that you need in that part of your life. And so one other thing, Virgo is one of the signs of service. And when you think about it, when we master who we are, when we master our personalities, when we master our craft, when we master our health, when we master just even learning and expanding our minds, whatever it is that we give that level of attention to, then becomes the service that we give to others. Virgo, because it follows after the sign of Leo, and Leo is the sign where we shine, right? Where we can just enter into the room and we didn't even done anything yet, and we just shine. And as someone who has a sun in Virgo, I really appreciate that Leo energy, because the Virgo is usually focused on what has to be done and the checklist, and mastering the craft and studying or getting better and practicing and whatever, that's just part of it. And so we forget to just be, right? We forget to just shine. But it's because that Virgo energy is trying to master something so that it can offer itself. Remember, Virgo being the virgin, so that it can offer itself to the world as a form of service or even sacrifice. So after we just left Leo season, so we're all shining. Go back and look at some previous episodes of Summer Alchemy where I talk about learning how to shine and radiate your own energy. And now we're back to getting to that work on ourselves, so that then we can serve others better. Again, this is the harvest season. We're going into the harvest season, and more so by September or late September, where we go into that harvest season where what we've sown, we're reaping. We're remembering what we put into the ground. We're assessing what we've given, and we're learning if we need to do more or give more of ourselves in a certain kind of way. So wherever Virgo is in your chart is the area where you serve the world. It's one of the areas where you serve the world, right? It's one of the areas where you serve with that which you've mastered. and become really good at. Okay, so that is pretty much it. I have a new product that will be available, and probably by the time you see this video it will be available, but it's the Everybody's a Virgo Including You kit, and it's available on my website, and it features some affirmations and daily rituals that you, whether you're Virgo or not, can do every single day to remember to focus on what's good, what you need to focus on, what you need to master. It helps you to create routines for your life that eventually lead to your success. I don't know what success means for you, but I do know that whatever you do every single day leads you to the path of either your highest self or your lower self. And I'm speaking even to myself. Is the things that we do every single day, and the rituals that we create, and the things that we focus on and choose to master, is what creates the outcomes of our life. And so the Everybody's a Virgo Including You kit will include affirmations and different rituals that you can do in order to maximize this part of your life. I also have brand new a new product called The Magic of Me. The Magic of Me. And it's actually all about you, where if you want to know where Virgo is in your chart, if you want to know, if you're like, Tanya, all this sounds great, but I don't know where Virgo is in my chart. I'm not a Virgo sun sign, so I don't know where Virgo is in order to maximize that area of my life and become more empowered and more focused in my daily routine in order to lead to my success. Tell me where to look. Then the Magic of Me is for you. The Magic of Me is where I actually take a look at your birth chart, and I not only tell you where Virgo is, but I also let you know what other energies that may be going on in that part of your chart that you can be aware of, so that you can maximize that energy. I feel like the more we know about ourselves, and this is why I'm calling it the Magic of Me, once you know more about yourself, then you know what magic or what power lies within you, and you can cultivate that. Sometimes we do things, we make decisions, we have habits, we create routines, and we don't even know why we're doing it. You know, we don't even know why we do the things that we do. And if someone can look at your birth chart, which is basically a chart that outlines not only where the sun was where you were when you were born, but the moon, all of the planets, and just lets you know what energies were swirling around in the universe at the time of your birth. If we had that information, then we could really create more intentional lives. So the Magic of Me will be available also. So make sure that you stay tuned at tanyapool.com so that I can look at your birth chart and tell you all about the magic that is within you. So that is pretty much it for Everybody's a Virgo, including you. That is it for episode 5 of Summer Alchemy. I will see you very soon. Wishing you much love and success and peace and joy and all types of wonderfulness during this Virgo season. All right. Peace and love.